rest of the units, and Nada's gonna survive here. He's not. He has the bottom left, the bottom to bottom left of his base secure there, but not the top right. That area is definitely at risk, and he needs to do something to defend it as well as he can. He's throwing up a command center at the bottom left, and Reach is also throwing down a nexus at the 11:30, 12 o'clock position there. So we're going to have the Protoss get up to 5 bases, and the Terran will go up to 5, unless he's also, or actually I guess it would be 4 for the Terran. And the middle base, it is technically a double expansion, but it's going to be so hard for him to actually saturate it. Everything is just going to be in such risk that I don't think it's really ever going to get saturated to the point where it would even count as a double base. And it's almost just a very tactical position for Nada more than anything else. He's going to try and get what he can out of it, though, of course, which is the smart thing to do. The Dragoons and Zealots now have +1 upgrade, but the upgrade advantage still goes to Nada with 1-1, and still more Arbiters are being produced. So he's got 3 out right now that I can see, and once he gets a lot of those Arbiters, I mean, once you start getting like 3 or 4 stasis down in a fight, it ends up being really, really bad. And he's coming in for another attack here, coming from the left side, the bottom left side. And he takes down some tanks, takes down some of the blockades and things, and as long as he just sits here and keeps harassing everything, keeps taking down all the little defenses that Nada puts up and picks up the tank counts, doesn't let that get up too high, he should be able to build up enough of force to go for a big recall, or like he could probably recall into the main or something even at this point and do a whole lot of damage, because Nada has dedicated so much to this central position. But yeah, High Templar also were finally out, so we will be seeing some Storm now as well. 4th Arbiter out for Reach. That is just ridiculous. You cannot let the Protoss army get this many Arbiters out. It's kind of like letting a Terran player just get a cloud of Science Vessels if you're Zerg, and then you just watch as all your Defilers and Ultralisks and everything is just irradiated. You get erased. Like, it just becomes bad news bears if so much, once that many Science Vessels come out. In the same way, you know, if a Protoss player can get 3 or 4 stasises plus get another recall, you know, if half your tanks are stasis and there's a recalled army into your main, and okay, here we go, recalled army into the main, then you are going to be in trouble. And yeah, this could be bad for wow, 2 tanks going down to that. Good mind drag by Reach. Another mind drag going down. It took out a Vulture and almost killed down a couple tanks, but didn't actually take them down. And Reach still in here with a bunch of Dragoons and also a High Templar. He's going to try and pick up this command center. He might actually be able to take it down before the reinforcements come in. Here come the Vultures. There's a ton of Vultures coming in here. And he scans and he's going to try and do as much as he can, but the Vultures aren't going to do a lot of damage. He needs to get the tanks in to do the real damage. And yeah, here they come, the tanks, but the command center already went down. That is really what Reach wanted. He wanted to take down the command center, and he successfully did that, storming some of the Vultures, and 1 Zealot and 1 High Templar still alive. If that High Templar still has a storm, he could be able to do a lot of damage still with it. If he can find some clumped tanks or Vultures, he should be able to do some damage there. And now he's going to go try and hit the middle here. Reach is here with another Arbiter and a pretty darn big force here, and I don't think that Nada's going to be able to hold this. Yeah, big stasis going down on 3 of the tanks and a bunch of the SCVs, Storm going down on a bunch of the SCVs as well, and this entire middle area is going down as well for Nada. Nada is definitely losing a lot of ground here, losing his main command center. He's going to lose this middle ground, so he's going to be back down to 2 bases versus 5 base Reach. Although Reach's main is mined out, but still that'll be 4 bases versus 2, and that is not a good place for Nada. One of the Arbiters goes down to turrets, which we do see a lot from the pro gamers, which I think is actually kind of odd how many Arbiters are lost to turrets, but I guess it's not worth the micro it takes to defend them against the turrets, or at least the pro gamers don't think so, which, I mean, they're the ones who know, right? And yeah, here comes the command center, and it's going to go down, and then Reach is just going to wait here for the tanks to come out of stasis and take them down, I would assume. And yeah, he's got a ton of gateways. He's got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 gateways. And he might even start putting some gateways up there at the 12 o'clock position or something. And he's got idle SCV, or idle probes. Yay, idle probes. Move them. And some Vultures coming in here to the 12 o'clock position to do some harass. They might be able to take out this Dragoon. No, the cannons are there to support and take down the mines before they can hit the Dragoon too much. And the Dragoon managed to hold it up, but the Dragoon is wandering out like a tard. And now another attack into the bottom left. I think that was another recalled force, and they went straight for the command center. That command center might go down, and the science facility is not going to be allowed to be completed, and the starport is going to be at risk as well. There are some tanks there from the bottom. They're going to try and do some support, but the mineral line, now that the minerals in the bottom left have been mined out, probably by Nada himself to make the reinforcement path easier, that is definitely going to put him at risk for forces to go back there, and possibly even a storm drop or something like that. And the science vessel was either cancelled or destroyed. The command center, I believe, was destroyed, and the command center and the refinery are both being taken down right now. You should probably also take down the starport, make it even, if that's the only starport that Nada has, it's going to be even longer before any science vessels come out, which is going to be very, very painful for Nada. Nada really needs to get some science vessels. He's hurting right now. He needs some EMP. He needs some mobile permanent detection to counter all of these arbiters. There's just so many of them. And now Reach is moving on to the left side there, onto that ramp. And the tanks there are going to do some damage. But if he has any Stormers, I didn't see any High Templar there. But if there are any High Templar there, that could be bad for him. The Zealots are going to try and get there to the tank, but I don't know if they're going to be successful. Actually, that command center in the bottom left didn't go down. It was put in the red, but it was floated away, and it is alive. And I wouldn't say well, but it is alive. Let's put it that way. It is alive right now. But Nada's in just such a bad position now. Reach throwing down a base in the top right, so that'll be his 6th base now. And yeah, Nada's looking really, really bad right now. He's really only mining off of one, maybe 1.5 bases right now. That refiner was taken down, so he's only off of 1 gas at this point, compared to something like 4 gas or so for Reach. And so many arbiters coming in. They're gonna get some big stasis on there. Nope, he's not even gonna bother stasing. He's gonna storm the hell out of them. He does stasis 2 of the tanks, storms like another like 6 of them, and just destroyed this entire front. Nada is going down. This is it for Nada. This was his last big army, and he's just gonna have to GG. Look, now the arbiters are just flying around. They don't even care what's going on. Okay, maybe they care a little bit. They're running away now, but it is so over. There was a science facility completed there at the natural, but it's just not going to matter. It's too late. And even if a science vessel comes out, Reach just has so many units, has so many arbiters around that he can just recall around at this point. Just keep building an army, recall it somewhere else, and Nada's just not going to be able to catch up. He can recall the bottom left, recall to the main again, go for the actual production again, and Nada just doesn't have much left. And these recalled tanks in 2 positions are going to get on, or stasis tanks are going to come out of stasis, and then both sets went down. Some more stasis going down on these back tanks, and he's probably going to stasis these tanks too. Yeah, there goes stasis those tanks and those tanks. I think there are no tanks right now that are not in stasis on the entire map. I would not be surprised if that was the position right now. I don't see any tanks that are unstasis at this point. That's what happens when you just let a player get too many arbiters. And yeah, Nada let this happen, and he's going to go down for it. He's going to pay the price, and Air Force Ace is going to take a 2-1 lead there off of that GG by Nada. Great play by Reach going for that early arbiter attack, and Nada just was not prepared for it. He needed to get more Goliaths out, more turrets. He needed to get side vessels earlier. But yeah, you just can't let a person get them. I hate to say it, but you can't let them get an arbiter cloud, which is really what Reach had. He just had so many arbiters that he was just stasising everything in sight by the end there. And Reach does his salute, and he takes the victory over the Tornado Terran Nada. So great game by the Mantos of Reach, and Air Force Ace is now up 2-1 heading up into the 4th match, 4th set. That'll be Casey versus Roro on Outsider, and I will see you in the 4th set.
딱 눈에 띄는 상대에게 맞물리는 그런 상성 빌드 이런 거 아니더라도 심리적인 상성으로 이미 먹고 들어갔어요. 그런 재미있는 요소를 조금 깊이 들어가서 찾아가면서 보는 그런 재미를 말씀하신 대로 이 두 선수가 선사를 했습니다.
네. 자, 이렇게 해서 박정석 선수는 100승 이후에 첫 승 다시 이제 신고를 했습니다. 101승 찍었고 이윤열 선수도 비록 오늘은 패했습니다만 앞으로 곧 계속해서 승리를 얻어나갈 수 있으리라 생각이 듭니다. 자, 이렇게 공군에이스가 2대1로 앞선 상황에서 4번째 세트는 신도열 선수와 한동욱 선수가 경기를 펼치게 됩니다. 과연 이대로 공군에이스 연승 가능할 것인지 아니면 신도열 선수가 애결까지 만들 것인지 기대되시죠? 4번째 세트는 잠시 후에 계속해서 이어드립니다.